One of my favourite projects is turning a simple old dog crate into a really cool feeding station. The advantages being that the small birds can get through these gaps, but the bigger birds and the squirrels can't. So it makes a great safe feeding station for a range of species. And I've been making these for ages, but when a neighbour offered me this one, I thought it'd be a super chance for me to show you how I use this and turn it into a great feeding station for your garden. Now, most of these crates come with a pretty standard size hole, which is fab because it's just right. Squirrels can't get through, but the smaller birds can. You can extend it a little bit and sort of play around with the size if you want to allow things like blackbirds to get in. But generally, if you make a hole big enough for a blackbird, a squirrel can also get in. Something else you need to look out for is often at the base here, and particularly at the very base here, the holes are bigger. If they are, then there's two things you can do. This one's got a metal tray, which is fab because it means obviously the squirrels can't get in now. And I've inverted this tray so that it doesn't fill with water, and that will stay in the bottom, dead easy to just slide out and clean. Absolutely perfect. If yours has got a plastic tray at the bottom, which many of them have, you may need to replace that with wood, or an easy thing is just to get chicken wire and run chicken wire from here all the way underneath, and then that will make it squirrel proof. So I've cut 2 long lengths and 1 short. Now I'm going to mount a camera in the far end, so that's why I've only cut 3. So these are going to go in here, and they will basically cover that gap where the squirrels can get in. So these on either end, and then this is going to go at the camera end. So we've got a wooden frame all the way around now. Another thing to think about is, if possible, get one with 2 doors, because this has got a side door and a back door, which makes it easy for me to reach in and get all the feeders and also access my camera. And it's the really big one, so it's much bigger than my current crate feeding station, but even the small ones are perfect. And a smaller one, you can get away with just having the 1 door. And really, that's all you need to do, because you can hang the feeders from the top. You can push a few branches through so the birds have got somewhere to perch outside and somewhere to perch inside, because they'll often want to sit on the outside, hop along the branch before committing to going inside until they get used to it. But because I'm going to have a camera inside mine, I want the end wall to look good on camera. So what I've done is I've made a frame. So I've created this, and this is the same size as the end wall. And because the camera is going to be looking at this end, I've put lots of branches with lots of screws on, so that I've got different options to hang feeders. And then the camera angle isn't looking out of the end of the crate, but it's looking at all the feeders. And when you've got a camera in there, you need them all to be on the same plane so that they're good for focusing. Otherwise, if they're all at different angles and different distances, then you can't keep one thing in focus. But you can do whatever you want inside your crate. It's so easy to make it a good space for both the birds to feed in and for you to watch the birds. So you can see now we've got a frame around the base and my backboard, which will form the main part of my camera scene. Nowhere for the squirrels to get in, and this creates a nice cleanable surface, and I'll see how that goes. I may opt to take that out and put chicken wire instead, but for now we're going to try it like that. Another good thing about having this base here is that I can put things on to make this scene look nice. So I've made this little perch, just basically some little logs screwed into a board, and I can position these in different places, move them around, just to make the scene look good, depending on how the camera angle is. And then all these little hooks will enable me to hang feeders in different places and create a nice scene. And hanging feeders, just get some of these S-shaped hooks. So then they can just hook on the top here, and then all you've got to do is reach in and hook your feeder on. That easy. Once you've got your crate just about ready, you need to think about where you're going to position it. You can put them on the floor, but I don't recommend it. If possible, get them raised off the ground. The birds feel safer and you're going to get a better view of it. Now, I tend to build a frame for mine, so just a simple rectangular frame with 4 legs, and then I use drain pipe over the legs to stop the rats climbing up. And then think about where you could put it. You want it so that the birds can easily access it, and they can also perch around outside. So I'm going to put mine up at the far end of the garden on the edge of the woods. And then also you need to think about keeping everything dry. Hygiene has got to be paramount. This plastic tray is going to make it easy for me to keep the base tray clean. I can just pull it out, wipe it off, brush off any excess food, and then pop it back in. But you want to keep things dry. So you need to build some kind of roof. Now you can use the base. If you're going to put chicken wire on the bottom, you can take that plastic tray out, put that on the top, and that makes a perfect roof. Or you can make your own. I tend to use these plastic, they're like a big plastic soft sheet, and it's designed there for computer chairs to stop your computer chair wrecking your carpet. So I just take one of these and I put it on the top. What I'll do is make a couple of little holes here and cable tie it on so that it doesn't come off. And I like to have a clear one because I've got a camera inside, so I don't want to compromise on the light. And then you've got a nice dry space, and it's perfect for all the small birds. Now this one's just about ready. I'll do some other bits and pieces inside when I get it into position. So I'm going to go and replace my old crate with this lovely big new one. So watch my live cameras and you'll see it in position. So the crate is up on its frame, which is good. I've put the feeders in. I just need to put the roof on and then get the camera in, and then I can close all the doors and we'll see who visits. There we go, all finished. So got the camera there, and then all the feeders in there. And there it is in its entirety. And the birds are sitting in the trees waiting for me to move out the way so they can come in.